Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Will You Snail. This game is developed by Jonas Tyroller and published by No Gravity Games and releases on March 8th, 2022. Unfortunately, we don't have a price quite yet for the game, but it should hit the Xbox store here in the coming days. So what is Will You Snail? It's pretty much a platforming parkour-esque kind of game where you go from one end of a level to the other, trying to get to basically complete it. But you also have this kind of story-driven AI that actually learns how you play the game, and as you play, is going to make the game harder for you. It's going to increase the difficulty. So the way the game works is you have a couple difficulty settings. Let's showcase those off real quick if I can remember how to pull them. So you have automatic difficulty, but you can also disable that, and you can adjust things for like a very easy, or not so easy difficulties, and it kind of is more of a play on words. But you're going to be going through coursed levels, trying to get from one end to the other without real getting killed. And that's the main premise of this game: is you don't die, you kind of parkour. It's got a very Super Meat Boy esque vibe to it, along with just a lot of other like parkour style platformers with the most quirky style of story there is and little abilities that are introduced. As you can see while I'm playing here, you're going to see little spikes that might kind of pop up. This is the game actually learning how I've played in previous runs, or while I've played and died on this existing level, on how it can kill me and defeat me, because the game's meant to train on itself. So if you see me die here, it'll start to implant spikes where I've gone in the past in hopes to make the game harder for me. And that's kind of how the AI and main function of the uniqueness of this game works. You're just going to be playing through levels, trying to get from point to point, unlocking the different pathways to complete those said levels. And some of the times when you're playing, things are not going to be as straightforward as you think. As you can see here, the game recognized that I like to go to the edge, so it's going to drop spikes at the edge of points to try to kill me. And that's really the meat and potatoes of this game. It's a game that adapts to your playstyle and then will kill you based on how you play. It's very unique and quite well done in a sense of every time you play this game, it's going to be so varying and so different because the way the game learns and adapts to you forces you to have to really rethink the entire way you play. Are you going to do the same thing you've done over and over, or are you going to figure out how to get past that level to not get stuck again? And as you can see here, I'm having to really pay attention to not only what I've done before, when playing, but also what I'm doing in the future. And then the game also throws in additional things such as boss levels that you're going to have to really figure out how to get through. This here is one of the boss levels that you're seeing on screen, and if I don't manage where I'm shooting, the ceiling's going to collapse on me and kill me. And now that I've already died once, the game's going to continue to replicate on how did I play it prior, and how can it stop me from doing what I just did again, all in the same succession of we don't want you to win, we want you to fail, and I have to figure out how to not, fail, ultimately in those resources. This game is done extremely well. Visually, it's an incredible game. I really love the art style and just the quirkiness of the narrative of, the AI that just interacts and taunts and really makes you feel like a piece of crap when you're playing, all while the epic rewards that you get to entail from the little bit of a backstory that the game has that you can kind of see here in glimpses, but also just the uniqueness of all the levels. Once you start to feel like you're mastering one new thing, the game's going to throw in things like connecting electrical lines to solve a level, and it's just going to continue to change up what you think. It's not simply, bouncing around from one level to the other, not surviving. It's also going to have to make you use your brain to figure out how to clear stages and figure out how to make things work, because things are only going to have, certain radiuses, and you have to use all that information that you've learned to complete out those stages and levels and be able to really get things done in this game. Um, then, with that same sense, different things that you do in the game are going to present new and differing tasks that you may or may not have seen prior, and those new things are going to send you all the way back to this like main menu level selection screen you can see here, where you can see all these things that I don't even know what to do, these question marks. I didn't find those pathways. So the game's going to kind of push you to go back and play again and find the secrets and things that you haven't missed. There's 200 plus things for you to encounter with levels. Like, I've barely scratched the surface in my time playing with this game, and it's such an amazingly fun game. I've put a couple hours into this, and as you can see, there's so many things I still have to do that it's just such limitless replayability, as well as, you just feel really immersed when you are playing. I love, like, the audio and just the visuals, and just honestly, there's so much good about this game. It's hard for me to have a whole lot of negative. Just showing off some of these other mechanics here, I have to make sure when this arrow hits me, I'm going that direction, or the game's gonna kill me. And if I'm not going that direction, I can't win in the level, and I still have to dodge everything that's trying to kill me. So it's so unique in the things that are presented that you really just get to constantly be on your toes. Like I said, once you learn one thing, you basically are going to forget that thing you learned, because the game's going to teach you that, you're not as smart as you thought you were. As you can see here, I have to make in-time jumps before I shoot out the platforms that I need to get to complete out the level I'm in and not die. And just that varying approach of how the game just constantly changes what you think you have to do with what you're actually doing really is quite unique. I love games like Super Meat Boy and, like, Bomberman and all kinds of weird games like that. And I know this isn't necessarily all those same mechanics in the same sense, but just this game finds a way to scratch an itch in almost all of those genres and put something together that, just works. It works in a very weird fashion, and for some reason, I want to continue playing and figure out what have I done right, what have I done wrong, how do I beat these bosses, how do I change things up, how do I continue to push myself to get whatever I need to get done. And not fail and die at the levels. The bosses are all varying in difference. This is going to be the second boss you're going to see me kind of showcase here in the video, and each one of them are going to really try to just do their own unique ways to kill you, and you have to really push your way through and figure out, what's unique to defeat them, all while the game's AI here is still trying to kill you. And that's ultimately why I think Will You Snail is a great game. If I have to give this game an opinion of buy, sale, or pass, 100% buy this game. I am hoping it comes in at under a $20 price point. I think that's pretty fair for it. And if you definitely like this style of game, that's a number that I don't think anybody's going to have too much of a hard time being okay to pick up on. For me at least, like, this game's pretty much a no-brainer. I wanted to play it when we got it, and I've been very happy and enjoyed playing it since the moment we, did pick it up. Overall, though, if you do have a differing opinion or want to see more gameplay or are stuck anywhere on this game, please let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button. If you want to see more gameplay or stuck anywhere, let me know down below. Join our Discord. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing. We'll catch you later. Go play some Will You Snail. Let's go have some fun.